Okay guys, let's roll. Get the important news out of the way first. What happened at the darts? I won 3-0. But my wife hasn't been the best, so she wasn't playing her A game. So I come back, we have our nice dinner, and I'm thinking, should I do a video? And I thought I'll do one about Unite the Kingdom, or rather Unite the Cringedom, and why I think it's a waste of time for people to go to it. It's a waste of money. I mean, one of our commenters pointed out that if there were 1 million people there, let's say a million people, and they added up what it would have cost those people to get to London for the day, stay overnight, petrol, rail fare and stuff like that. And we were talking millions. And I thought, yeah, that money would be much better spent being donated to the Restore Britain party. Yeah, it could help. Imagine the advertising campaign you could have with millions and millions of pounds. So I was going to make a video saying, don't waste your money to go see some people sing and talk on the stage. Apart from that, you wouldn't really want it to be seen surrounded by a bunch of foreign flags from around the world, would you? It's only one flag should really be flying in this country, or two perhaps, 3, 4. Our Union flag that unites us all, and then maybe Welsh flags, Scottish flags, obviously English flags, and of course the Ulster flag from Northern Ireland. Those are the only flags you should see flying there. But I bet you're going to see Palestinian flags. No, probably you're going to see a lot of Israeli flags. You'll probably hear speeches about why we should support Israel. Yeah. That apartheid state in the Middle East, hell bent on building a greater Israel. Then there'd be a collection, wouldn't there? I don't know who they'd collect for this time. Last time they collected for Peter Lynch, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, and Thomas Sons, or Son is it? The one who likes to fly around in private jets. Be seen in flash cars. Well, those images got took down. They were bad optics, wasn't they? Almost as bad as the optics of Tommy Robinson on that luxury train. Well, yeah. I was going to do a more detailed video about that. Why it'd be a waste of time, money. I mean, what would happen if there was another collection and the money disappeared again? What was it, £42,000? I don't think all the details come out really about that, did I? So I was thinking about doing something about it. And then I saw Paul Thorpe's video. Can't remember what the title of it was. He was talking about Unite the Cringedom. I laughed. Paul said that Tommy was the only game in town. Well, if that's the only game in town, they've got a busted flush, because Restore Britain has got a royal flush, and you're not going to get better than that. No, Tommy Robinson is not the only game in town. I'm not even sure that Tommy Robinson is even a game now. What's it like, these aging superstars, singers, Madonna, the likes of that, Cher, they have one final last gig, don't they? Their sellout tour, their swan song before they vanish. I don't know where Tommy's going to vanish to. He can vanish anywhere he likes, can't he? He's got enough money now. Probably millions. Millions. Never did find out. Oh, well, I was going to say we never did find out where the money came from to fund his lifestyle. And then we found out that Israel seemed to have something to do with it. But I'm not surprised. I mean, there's been no bigger supporter of Israel, has there? Who was calling for the bombing of Iran, you know, to blow up those schoolgirls? Why, that was Tommy Robinson, wasn't it? Yeah, all those thousands of people dead, people still dying. Well, Tommy got what he wanted, didn't he? But Paul Thorpe says that Tommy is the only game in town. We should get behind him. Other members of the Tommy Tards, I think it's Simon Tomlin calls them the Tommy Tards, Tommy's team. He was saying if we don't go, we should be ashamed. Ashamed. I read reports of old age pensioners in worse health than me. I'm pretty fit, to be honest. Going up last time, what they went through to get there, you know. A day of misery, really. The optics did look great, though, didn't they, all those flags? I thought at the time, well, at least it shows that the British people are united. And then I learned, obviously, more about the people involved in UTK, who was behind it, what happened to the money, how much did it raise. No transparency about their expenses, were there? I've never seen any. Who received what? Don't know. I've got some information on it all, but I'm not sure I can use it because it's I haven't been able to validate it. But anyhow, back to Paul Thorpe. So Paul says that Tommy team is the only team in town. Yeah, and we should all support it. Well, what happened then? I thought, am I going to say anything about it? And I thought, well, what's the point? This channel's position on Tommy has been made more than clear so many times. So many times. Totally opposed to Tommy Robinson and his lies and the Jewish Defence League. Sorry, English Defence League. They changed their name, didn't they, from Jewish Defence League to English Defence League. Yeah. His lies about being the first one to talk about the grooming gangs. We'll call them the grooming gangs, but you know what they are really. When I can distinctly recall, at least in 2007, when I was writing about it, and the British National Party were talking about it. I think the lady's name was Marlene Guest. I may be mistaken, it was a long time ago, but they were talking about it before Tommy Robinson came on the scene. Was he ever genuine about why he did it? Or did he see a chance to make money? He might have been genuine in the beginning, but money can do things to some people. Can't do anything to me. I can't be bought, but some people can. Politicians especially. Grifters who latch onto a cause so they can raise money by pretending to believe in what they say. Actually, some of them may even believe it, but also use it as an opportunity to make money. Yeah. So I thought, shall I say anything about Paul Thorpe? I thought, there's no point really. No point. I want to be writing about other stuff. Writing, that's me going back to my article writing days. I want to make videos about other stuff. And I thought, besides, there's someone out there with a bigger reach than I and better able to dismantle what Paul Thorpe said. And that, of course, is DinoBane. And sure enough, DinoBane came out. And I thought one of his last videos was the best I've ever seen. But this time, it was really, really something else. Something else. What a dismantling of Paul Thorpe's video. Yeah. Does Paul really believe what he says about Tommy? We know he's a big part of the Tommy team. He says he doesn't know what happened to the money, and I believe him in that instance. I don't think he didn't know anything about the money, where the money went. But he's still on Tommy's team, and DinoBane really wrecked Paul Thorpe's arguments. Yeah. So I thought there's no need for me to do anything. I'd rather be talking about something else. I've got a few things I really need to be making videos on. So that would have been that. That would have been that. Water under the bridge and just carried on. But as you know, we had that little bit of a problem. But that's behind us now, hopefully. So I would have moved on and done nothing. But I come across this. Stand by. You know the rules. Pause, Paul. I came to this channel in case you missed it. Yeah, what about it, you say? Who runs it? Jupiter. Jupiter affiliated 5247. You can see her on the left with her partner. She's in a mixed relationship. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Love is blind. Yeah. I don't really approve of it because if there are children, I think it's not fair on children, really, if they have children. You know, you're neither one race nor another. Divided loyalties, usually. So, looking at the channel, what did I see? This. Can I zoom in? Let's have a look, shall we? There, on the left. It's me, the green arrow. I'm talking to Abatha Rex. What have they been saying? It's a part of a 2-hour stream. So I thought I'd better go look at it. And I think we'll go look at it together, shall we? Pause, Paul. Well, I guess I thought I'd better watch it and see what this person whose name Jupes had to say about me. But I had to wade through a lot of other stuff before I got to the segment. So who is Jupes? What could I find out about her? Well, she's a Tommy Tard, as Simon would say, a Tommy fangirl, and a very vocal and vicious fangirl. Women can be particularly vicious over their men, yeah. But this one is all new different. I mean, I've drunk with Aberdeen fishwives when we had fishing fleets. I've drunk with the girls of Glasgow, and I've drunk with girls from the travellers camps in the valleys. They're okay, actually. But never in my life did I hear any of those three groups of women I mentioned use the same sort of vile, disgusting language that this person called Jupes uses. Oh, and did I say, I think she's one of the marshals at the UTK events. I don't know if she'll be a marshal at this year's event, but she has been in the past, or so I've been reliably informed. I may be wrong. But her language is disgusting. So I have to give you fair warning now. If you've got any children in the room, ask them to leave. She acknowledges that her language is not the best, but if she's aware of just how bad her language is, she should try to moderate it. Good Lord, I can't imagine my mother or any of the women in Restore Britain using the kind of language she does. I can understand why she's against Restore Britain. The reason is in front of your eyes. Yeah. So, yeah, I can understand why she might go with Tommy, who says that anyone can be English or Welsh, Scots, whatever. Supports immigration. Yeah. Totally opposed to everything I believe in. Should we have listened to some of the things she says? I'll have to stop now and again. We don't want to get that content thing. Let's just have a listen for a second.
I can't for the life of me Understand. And if Dino wants to do a video saying, oh, Jupiter don't understand that, do it, Dino, you little mug. Because I might just actually get hold of my long stream that had you on and start fucking breaking it down and pulling out all the bits that make you look stupid and putting it all over TikTok and X. I haven't done that yet because I'm not like you. Yeah? I let people expose themselves.
And if you listen to her, she will expose herself. Let's go forward. It's difficult to know where to stop and start because she starts swearing fairly shortly and it doesn't
So I sat and watched it, and I watched Paul move on. I watched him move on. 2 days later, Vindicator started.
Yeah, she's having a go at Vindicator as well. More bad language. Let's get to before this bit here.
Disingenuous.
So I was just thinking today, actually, why has it been so difficult to make videos lately? You know, the channel was growing, it was pretty strong, and then suddenly I kind of hit this wall, and I was thinking,
okay, you hit a wall because you did a truce. And you did a truce and you didn't know what else to talk about because you actually enjoy picking apart another person because you're insidious. You probably get off on torturing people mentally.
See what I mean? Not only foul mouth, but crazy as well. And there's lots of that. Lots of that. Let's just take another bit.
Yeah? Because there ain't nothing on this YouTube that ain't been said or done before.
we kind of skirt around the issue, we dance around it. We don't really go after it, do we? And that needs to change. I think that's the reason why I've been flagging lately, because cognitive dissonance is real.
Okay, Dino, I've got to be careful, sorry, mate, because of that, you know how prone they are to lashing out with copyright strikes.
In the ether. Because like I said, I can read the unspoken. Yeah?
Well, I'm glad she can read. She can't articulate. Anyhow, there's somewhere in here she really goes to town. Yeah, Jupes. Jupes is a big fanboy of Paul. Let's see what she says here.
For a chat, I think, because certain individuals are just not prepared to let something go, are they?
No. No, we're not. We are not.
Okay. DinoBane says we're not, and he didn't. He really went for it. Look, let's cut to the chase now. DinoBane really demolishes Paul Thorpe's arguments there. What he said. Then we get to this. Oh, now, I probably might not have made this video had I not come across this. I would have thought, oh God, it's just some woman who's, well, seemed as if she'd been drinking. I'm not saying she had. I thought it was just some crazy, deluded, foul-mouthed fangirl. And then I saw this and I thought, well, I've got to listen to see what she's saying about this. So off we go. Let's have a look. Is that what she's saying about the Green Arrow? We've seen her have a go at DinoBane. We've seen her have a go at Vindicator. So now I think she's about to take a pop at me. Now, I haven't watched this fully. Yeah, I stopped it when I got here. I thought, let my outrage be fresh. And there's Abatha. So what happens?
God, sometimes I really need to control this.
1 second. She must be obeyed his call and I have to do something.
Fair enough.
What do you want, lad?
What I'll go further into regarding that comment again, if I just bring this up again, because I I don't know if he's going to delete it or what have you, was he then goes on to speak about Mr. Robinson. Yeah, he's done time in his prisons. What needs to be understood is, and I know all the context of it, as I was one of the main people defending him against his criminal convictions, that Tommy Robinson, he did get sent down for mortgage fraud, but it was on the back of a plea deal that basically they would drop the family and drop Neil and what have you. But what can't be ignored is the fact that Tommy Robinson has been caught trying to go to America on, I don't know if it was like an Irish passport, but he was definitely doing it on a fake passport.
Okay, I'm just going to stop there for a second before I forget. Before I forget. Hold on. Oh, I love my family. But why do they decide to call when I'm trying to shoot a video? Yeah, so I was about to tell you. Regards to DinoBane segment, Juno or Cluedo or Clueless has a go at DinoBane because he's living overseas. And she rants on about if he cared about the country, he'd be over here, that kind of thing. And I thought, well, that's a bit ironic because she was defending Paul Thorpe a moment ago. And where does Paul Thorpe live? He lives overseas in Benidorm. I mean, and I've got to be honest, does it make any difference where a patriot posts from? I mean, I lived in Portugal for a couple of years. I had the chance to live there, to stay out there. It was a beautiful part of the world, but I had to come back to my valley, didn't I? When you get old, you want to return home. So I thought it was a bit rich attacking DinoBane for working from overseas when Paul Thorpe does exactly the same. I thought I'd better tell you that now, though, before we continued. Anyhow, let's carry on.
Which, in a sense, is fraud. And yet, there are people that are saying,
Oh my fucking good God. Right, so these people, right, they want to have a pop at Tommy, they want to dig up anything Tommy's done. They seem to think, right, that people, ordinary people that are going to stand up have got to be fucking squeaky clean, number one, right? They all think that people can only have a voice unless you're squeaky clean. Well, if that happens, right, I can honestly tell you that most of the country will be fucking sitting in their houses, right? Because there's a good proportion of people alive today that were involved in the 2011 riots. Yeah? Not just black people, white people as well, from the youth.
Do you see what I mean about her language? Justifying criminal behaviour. I mean, America is currently expelling people who entered the country illegally. I think if they were to do a drug test on Tommy, well, I'd be curious to see what the result of that would be. Personally, I think America would have done well to keep them out. And if there are any American viewers watching this channel, Tommy is not who you think he is, who the mainstream media are telling you who he is. He is not a hero in the United Kingdom, not to those who know the truth about him. Anyhow, let's let it continue a little bit more, and then I'll do a wrap-up because I've got arranged to go live.
Yeah. Then you've got all the casual thieves, the other people that have been caught speeding, all the other stuff, you know, people have been caught in other stuff, minor criminality, right? That'd be another group of people sitting down. Then you'll have to have another group of people that have probably done higher crime levels, right? That might have even, you know, rehabilitated. Because let's be honest about it, we were a country that believed that people could rehabilitate, and some people could. There are crimes that you can't rehabilitate from, child abuse being one of them.
Or in their case, stupidity.
But for the most part, there are a lot of crimes where you can rehabilitate, go back into the community, and you never ever commit another crime. Yeah? So they want to separate those people and only have those people that have got voices. I disagree. I disagree. I think anyone deserves to have a voice if they're British. That's
You don't have the right to enter illegally into another country. Do you know, in some countries, that's punishable by death. Illegal immigration is punishable by death in some countries, or long prison terms. But let's let her continue.
bursting, right? Doesn't mean they're valid in what they say. Yeah. Now, Gary, they're not talking about when he went to Canada. They're talking about when he tried to get into America through Mexico. Right?
You mean like the Mexicans did, that are currently being deported? Dupes, do you realise how silly you sound? Oh, and for those of you who think I'm punching down, Dupes has got about 3,000 subscribers. I've got 6,000 now. Technically, I'm punching down. But to be honest, I'll stamp on crazy every time I see crazy. I don't mind punching up, and I don't mind punching down. I'm not like DinoBane and Vindicator who thinks you shouldn't punch down. I will punch down.
That's what they're talking about. Now, secondly, Tommy Robinson is an activist. And activists do things that sometimes push against the laws. Yeah? It was actually wrong of the government to stop Tommy Robinson having freedom of travel around the world.
Ah, so Tommy Robinson is exempt from the laws of a country. Okay, Tommy Robinson done some good work in the past, there's no doubt about it. Somewhere along the way, he was either influenced by some money, honey trapping, something that turned him into a different kind of person. Yeah, but nobody should be above the law. It's bad enough that our politicians seem to be above the law. I've got a book behind me about how the government gets away with breaking the law. Yeah, but nobody should be above the law, and that includes Tommy Robinson. Anyone can. I'm an activist. Should I be allowed to enter a country illegally? I'm an activist. I'm as much an activist as Tommy Robinson is. Maybe not as well recognised. I probably care more about, I know I care more about our country than Tommy does. See, because I'm an ethnonat. I'll use the word ethnonat, make it easier to understand, but I'm a British nationalist. Tommy believes that anyone can be English. Tommy wants foreign wars. That's why I don't support Tommy. Yeah, I don't support him. And why I don't support the Unite the Kingdom or Unite the Cringedom. If people want to go, spend a small fortune to get to London, to stand and listen to someone sing in their last farewell tour before retiring somewhere really nice, they're free to do so. But I won't be suggesting people doing it, and I won't be doing it myself. Let's continue.
In my opinion. And there's a lot of other people who agree. Yeah? He shouldn't have been stopped from going into different countries. He shouldn't have been on a flag up list. He shouldn't have been treated like a terrorist. Because he's not a terrorist. He's not harmful to no one. All he was doing was telling the fucking truth. And for people to want to criticise him for trying to get into America and tell American people about what was going on, something which now those Americans probably regret, yeah? Because they're already having him in America, all over America. He got there eventually and he done it authentically. Yeah?
Wow. This is interesting, isn't it? Listening to someone, oh, don't say it. mental illness. Mental illness is not something to be laughed at, really, GA.
Getting to meet top politicians and advisors and influencers and even Donald Trump. So he's been vindicated, hasn't he? In wanting to go around the world and tell these people what was going on, how it's happening, to be careful, to warn people. That's not a bad thing at all. And for this bloke to be sitting there trying to slag off Tommy, of all things.
He wasn't slagging off Tommy, was he? He wasn't slagging off Tommy at all. He was merely pointing out that Tommy is a convicted felon. Yeah? I don't think we know the half about Tommy. He done some good work, as I said in the past. His exposure of Panorama was good work. But you could say the same about Nigel Farage back in his day. He done some good work. People change, dupes. People change. No. Let her finish.
For trying to get into it and go, oh yeah, he committed fraud. So fucking what?
Shall we end it there, guys? He committed fraud. So fucking what? Wow. All I can say to those people who go into the Unite the Cringedom, are these the people you want to associate with? People who say that if you don't go, you should be ashamed of yourself? If you don't want to go, you should be ashamed of yourself? God, they're nothing like the people in the Restore Britain movement. They talk about trailer trash. Actually, I lived in a trailer once for a while after my fall. I liked it, the sound of the rain. Wow. Anyhow, I thought I'd have to push this video out. She's attacked DinoBane. I wasn't aware of this. She's attacked the Vindicator. Well, Vindicator wouldn't go for her. Vindicator's an honourable man. You'd say, well, she's a smaller channel than me, so I can't. I'd be punching down. But I'll punch down. I'll punch down for you, Vindicator. I'll do it. Because I don't care how small they are. She could be 3 inches high, and I'd still attack her. Paul, I know you'll watch this. I know you watch it. And I know you're having second thoughts about decisions you made in the past. And I wouldn't mind betting you're having your doubts about UTK as well. You might go there, you might get up on stage, and you'll give a good performance. You do. You come across as sincere. Whether you are, I don't know. You are a salesman. You know how to sell yourself. But even you must be having doubts about people like dupes. Is that who you want? Is she really one of your moderators? A foul-mouthed creature like that? No. If I had someone like that as a moderator, and my wife heard her speak the way that dupes did, I'd be getting a clip around the ear off my wife, and I'd have probably earned it. Anyhow, guys, you've been listening to Paul Morris, the Green Arrow. We'll be going live today. We go live every day, to be honest. And I'll see you on the next one.